guys, Varda here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a paper crafter, I'm sure you have heard about Betterpress. And yes, I have designs on that. I have intentions of buying it. But before I actually go ahead and do that, I wanted to try if I can create the same look with supplies that I already have on hand. So I tried three different ways to do it. I will share the three ways with you and also the conclusion that I came up with. So this is the first try. I think my paper is a little bit thicker here. I have the hot foil plate which is from Pink Fresh Studio. It's a beautiful delicate pattern plate. I use the hinge method, but instead of hot foiling I actually um, inked it up and then I attached it together. The sandwich I created was the plate down, then the paper on top, and I used normal platinum platform for this, platinum machine platform for this. In fact, I lost the footage and then I went back and I made the video of the sandwich again for you. But the first time nothing happened. It just breezed through, no pressure at all with one single cutting plate. So then I improvised and I used the embossing sandwich. So the one with the squishy plate and the black plate. This gave too much pressure. In fact, my paper tore, and on the back side, you could see like the strings of paper that got tore. And it also kind of got some smudges on the side. I think that smudges could totally be me or my tape. I decided to still roll with it. It looks beautiful because of the dainty design. I did fussy cutting all around it, and for the ink smudges, my trusted sand eraser. So that's what I did. I definitely plan to use this design. So don't worry about that. You'll see in one of the videos. But this is the bad thing that happened. My platform got some deep impression of the plate. So don't do that. Definitely do not recommend. You might want to try with different pressure with the cutting blades, etc., but not the sandwich that I did. It did not work. The second one I'm trying is with a thinner paper, and I'm trying to create kind of a handle here so that I don't have to get, I'm trying not to get ink smudges on my fingers when I turn it around or move it around and things like that. But with inking, it's a little bit difficult. So you will see when I turn this and I try to ink it, I feel like ink will get on that handle. So I tuck it behind before I start any inking. So this time I'm using a different kind of paper. This is from the Spellbinders card kits. It's thinner than the previous one that I used. The plate is also from Spellbinders, and the ink is different. I think the ink itself will not make a difference, at least in this case. I don't think it will. Uh, but I'm using the amalgam ink from Gina K. Again, I don't think in this case, just to get the deep impression, the ink will matter, but I know there are special inks for Betterpress. Um, I'm not I'm not using any of those here. So with the ink in place and after cleaning up the extra ink that I got on the tape and on the side and everything, I decided to simply lift it up, use the handle, easier said than done, use the handle that I created and use this time the glimmer platform, not the platinum machine platform, but the glimmer platform. I decided to remove the handle because it is double the thickness of a washi tape and just go with a simple washi tape, single layer. And for the first attempt, I used this with the glimmer platform, just like we use with hot foils. Only this time, the platform is cold. I didn't heat it up or anything because remember, I'm not going for hot foiling. I just use the platform and then the plate on top, then the inked up plate on top with the paper, and I just use the two plate and the shim that came with the machine. Usually for my machine I have to use a couple shims when I do hot foiling. This time for the first attempt I decided to forego the shims and use it as it is. But what I realized was it did not give any impression at all. So I decided to add the shims that I normally use. They are just two pamphlets that come. You see, the first time I did this without the shims, nothing came, no pressure. The impressions did not come at all. I think the ink got transferred, yes, it did, but no pressure at all. So that's why I decided to run it again with the two shims. So this is where you see me admiring my handiwork, but deciding to now run it with the shims. So the pamphlets that you see here, those are the ones that I decided to add and run it through my machine. This time, guess what? The pressure was too much. So again, even if this was a thinner paper, it did break. Unlike the first one, I think the first time the paper itself was thicker and it broke literally to the point of every line started coming out as a string at the back. Not every line, but several lines came out as strings at the back, like it literally cut through the paper. In this case, it did not do that, but the paper definitely got um, like distressed lines that happened. So I felt like the pressure might be too much. So I decided to keep everything just the way it is, except use only one shim instead of two shims. And that was my third attempt. See how I'm trying to press back into it and fix it. But I felt like, yeah, the pressure became too much. In fact, on my machine, the beginning and the end, the both sides of hello have too much pressure and the middle one doesn't have much pressure. So the middle part did not break, but the sides did. For my third attempt, I decided to again use exactly the sandwich like I did in my second attempt. Use the glimmer platform, use the plate that is inked up with a thinner paper, but this time instead of two shims, just use one shim. That till now, that was my most successful attempt. However, it did not give the exact results that I wanted. It did not give even pressure everywhere. It gave only pressure in the beginning and the end. I think it might be something to do with plate. So I definitely am going to play around more. But I wanted to share this video so you can try with your supplies too and see how that works for you. So to conclude, I think whatever Betterpress does, we can probably do it. I'm not 100% sure about whether I like the results exactly as I would like with the Betterpress, because Betterpress and the Betterpress designs are intricate and they're beautiful. So, yeah, I think Betterpress definitely is worth a shot, especially if you like letterpressed kind of designs. Can you do it with other supplies that you might already have? I think you can. So it's a combination of, oh, do you want to really go with those designs? Do you think you'll use that platform enough, or do you think it's going to be just a once in a while thing for you? I think that's where you need to evaluate for yourself and see whether this particular new toy from Spellbinders is really worthy for you. As for me, yeah, I'm considering it. I'm shamelessly considering it, but not so soon. We'll see. For now, this was my best attempt. As you can tell from the back side, the paper did not break, but it gave a good impression, except in one particular place. So I'm happy with the results. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. I will use what we created in different cards and share that with you shortly. Till the time, happy crafting.